What's up everybody? Welcome back to another segment of the Indie Edit. In this video, we're going to go over the process of using the auto-sequence and auto-sync functions in AVID to create subclips using the media we ingested in the previous video. We're also going to take a look at how to read an editor's log and use that when organizing our subclips. Let's get started. So first things first, when doing dailies, we want to set up our metadata columns to reflect information that is going to be helpful for us during the syncing and logging process. For me, this is what I prefer having from left to right. Color, so we can easily organize our clips based on a common visual. Media type, so we know at a quick glance what we are working with. Name and comments should be fairly self-explanatory. Start and end time codes. Scene and take columns. Usually on the indie side, I see audio files that come over with the scene and take information, but the AVID MXFs usually don't have anything. Duration, useful for spotting any short clips that may just be false takes. Tracks, which will be used to see how our audio files are laid out. Format, for checking what resolution and frame rate our proxies are. And tape. If you're unaware what the tape column is for, it is basically an extra bit of metadata that helps our online editorial team quickly relink from the proxy media that we're working with back to the high-resolution production media. All we are looking for is that the tape column matches the name column for only our MXFs. We could ignore our audio for this column. If the tape name does not equal the name column for the MXFs, we do need to call our DIT or Dailies house immediately, as this could affect relinking down the road. So the first thing I like to do when I receive my day of dailies is select every single clip within the bin, come all the way over to Clip, and come on down to Auto Sequence, and hit Go. We're going to hit OK to continue on through. And this is going to spit everything out using their source timecode into a timeline showing you what the day looked like. In this instance, it looks like we don't have too many issues or any at all, as our blue video files are looking totally in sync with our white audio files. Now that the waveforms have populated, let's zoom on in and take a peek at what this looks like.
Give me the, help me! It's too strong! Help me!
Do the earthquake thing. Get on the ground and
Alright, and to me, that looks in sync. So for now, we're going to go ahead and remove the auto sequence timeline since we just don't need it to do our syncing, and we're going to get to work. So since we're dealing with the timecode sync, things should be pretty easy. So let's go ahead and select everything here. I have AutoSync set to S, so I'm going to hit my S hotkey, and I'm going to choose Source TimeCode, which is already selected. Now the second thing that I want to mess with is down here, this when creating subclips option. If we were to keep this option open right here, keep audio on clip with video, what it's going to do is maintain those two blank channels of audio that came with our MXF video clip. In this instance, we don't want to keep this on because why would we want the blank audio for this? We want to use the nice crisp and clean audio from our sound bag, so we're going to leave this deselected. Now coming down to the next option here, include audio from audio-only clips. Since we have our tracks metadata column open, we can see over here that we're working with an audio track 1 through 8 as well as a 5 through 16. Now if we clicked OK as is, it's going to pull all of those audio clips in and append them to the subclip that we're using. Depending on your editor or your editing team and how they like things set up, that might very well be okay. In this instance, however, in the way that I like to work, I like to mix everything down to just the A1 mix track. This makes our lives very easy and very efficient when editing, since we're only having to deal with a single track of video and a single track of audio. The one thing that you do have to double check, however, is that your post-sound team is okay with relinking to all of the original lavaliers and boom mics from the WAV files. If they need a little help in relinking, have them check out the tool called Edit Load for Pro Tools. Most of the sound studios that I have worked with use this tool to do their relinking to the original WAV files. Okay, with that out of the way, let's move on. Go ahead and select A16, move this down to A1, and hit OK. And what that does on our end is you can see at the top it spits out all these brand new clips. We're going to go ahead and color these a different color blue, and we're going to sort by timecode. And what you can see this is doing is it's giving us one picture clip, one wave clip, and then a subclip. And as we look at our time codes here, we can notice that these are all very similar. So the thought process is that these two clips here are being used to create the subclip. So let's go through and check a few of these out.
Well done on all accounts.
And everything seems to be in sync there. Checking a few more of these subclips out.
Disciplining the child.
Okay.
Okay. Radical vulnerability. Huh?
All right, and we look good from top to bottom over here. So let's go ahead and start logging our media. We're gonna go ahead and make a new bin, title this sync, move it down into our dailies bin, and kick it to the side over here so we're working with two of these at once. We're gonna resort by color so everything gets together, and grab all of our subclips and move them on over. We're gonna click to the top, choose the same metadata columns that we have for the other one, make a little room, and save our project. Now, one tip that I like to do here is to select everything and hit delete, but don't fully delete everything. Just get this number that you have selected, which is 14 clips, and then come over here to our picture, hit delete as well, and you notice that it says 15 clips. So this means that one video file is not being used for whatever reason. So let's go up and sort with a Command E or Control E on the name, and we'll start stepping through these files to see what's missing. 29.5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go over here and compare. Already at the top, 29.04. That looks like it's our missing clip. So let's double click that and see what's going on. And as we scrub through, we can very obviously tell that this just looks like it's a practice run or a false take. Both of the lead actors, they all have jackets on, so this is just kind of them setting up, and for whatever reason they decided to roll on it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and color this clip yellow just so I know that that's a false clip. Now let's check out our WAV files here and we'll do the same thing. Delete, 14 clips, that matches our amount of subclips, so we know we have everything that was sent to us by the Dailies house. So let's keep organizing. On this side, we'll go to Scene, and we're gonna hit Command D or Control D, which is copy one metadata column to another, and we're gonna go down to Name. And we're gonna hit OK, and then OK. And what this does is it renames everything with just the scene name. Now, the unfortunate side of this is that we can't append the take numbers without getting too fancy to the names over here, so we're just gonna have to manually type all of these in. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a quick save, and let's just double click through a couple of random ones of these, just to make sure that the slate is what the audio bag identified everything as. 22B2, 22B2. 22D1, 22D1. Looks like things are in order. So now that we have all of our subclips named based on the scene and take metadata from what the audio engineer sent our way, let's go ahead and jump over to our editor's log sent to us by the script supervisor. It's always worth cross-referencing and double-checking the work of a couple different people just to make sure that nothing was missed. So head over to your Scripty Reports folder and open up the Daddy Editor's Log Scene 22 PDF. All right, and kind of moving down the list here, we're just gonna check off shot by shot to see if we have everything here. So 22, it looks like we have 5 setups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. 22A, 1, 2, 22B, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, C1, 2, D1, 2, C1, 2, and D1, 2. Great, we have everything. And now while we're here, we're gonna do one additional small thing. On this editor's log, and with our script supervisor Sean, there was a discussion on how to log and notate director circle takes. If you don't know what a circle take is, it basically just means that's the director's preferred take from a certain setup. So in this instance, wherever we have a P appearing on the editor's log, those were takes that the directors wound up liking more than everything else. Different editors like to handle this different ways, but nonetheless, I do think it is very important to transfer this information into our bin. The way that I like to do that is by simply putting a small asterisk next to each shot name. Now for this scene, since there's not many setups, it's pretty easy to remember these, so we basically have a circle take for it looks like everything except for 22.1.2 and 22B2. So we'll go through and just add a small asterisk next to everything we see here. And lastly, you'll notice that we actually have a PU, which stands for pickup, so we'll also notate that as well. And hit save. So the last thing that we would want to check on the editor's log, if we alt-tab back to that, is to just see what these notes are. Sometimes these notes can be useful, and depending on what your editor wants, they very well might like some of this stuff to be logged in the clips. For me, when setting this up, I don't mind leaving this stuff out, but just kind of noting it as the editor and kind of doing a quick glance and a quick read through. I mean, here we have good for sound, headlamp in back window, better sound playing in the back. A lot of this stuff I think we will notice just while reviewing the Dailies takes, and I don't want to waste too much time putting in notes that we're just not going to use. So from here on out, we're going to go ahead and just close our editor's log and move back into AVID. So we've synced our audio to picture, and we've named our subclips based on the editor's log we have available. In the next video, we're going to take a look at marking up those subclips as well as setting up a scene bin with nice and easy to read thumbnails. I'll see you there.